If you shall chance, Camillo, to visit Bohemia on the like occasion whereon my services are not on foot, you shall see, as I have said, great difference betwixt our Bohemia and your Sicilia. I think this coming summer, the king of Sicilia means to pay Bohemia the visitation which he justly owes him. Wherein our entertainment shall shame us. We will be justified in our loves, for indeed. Beseech you. Verily, I speak to the freedom of my knowledge. We cannot with such magnificence and so rare. I know not what to say. We will give you sleepy drinks that use senses unintelligent of our insufficience. Nay, though they cannot praise us, as little accuse us. You pay a great deal too dear for what's given freely. Believe me, I speak as my understanding instructs me, and as mine honesty puts it to an utterance. Sicilia cannot show himself overkind to Bohemia. They were trained together in their childhoods, and there, rooted betwixt them, then such an affection, which cannot choose but branch now. Since their more mature dignities and royal necessities made separation of their society, their encounters, though not personal, hath been royally attorneyed, with interchange of gifts, letters, loving embassies, that they have seemed to be together though absent, shook hands as over a vast, and embraced, as it were, from the ends of opposed winds. The heavens continue their loves. I think there is not in the world either malice or matter to alter it. You have an unspeakable comfort of your young prince, Marmilius. It is a gentleman of the greatest promise that ever came into my notes. I very well agree with you in the hopes of him. It is a gallant child, one that indeed physics the subject, makes old hearts fresh. They that went on crutches, were, ere he was born, desire yet their life to see him a man. Would they else be content to die? Yes, if there were not no other excuse why they should desire to live. If the king had no son, they would desire to live on crutches till he had one. Nine changes of the watery star hath been the shepherd's note since we have left our throne without a burden. Time as long again would be filled up, my brother, with our thanks. And yet, we should, for prosperity, go hence in debt, and therefore like a cipher, yet standing in rich place, I multiply. With one we thank you many thousands more that go before it. Stay your thanks a while, and pay them when you part. Sir, that's tomorrow. I'm questioned by my fears of what may chance or breed upon our absence, that may blow no sneaping winds at him at home to make us any say this is put forth too truly. Besides, I have stayed to tire your royalty. We are together, brother. Then you can put us to it. No longer stay. 1 7 might longer. Very sooth tomorrow. We'll part the time between us, then, and that I'll no gainsay. Press me not, beseech you, so that there is no tongue that moves none. None of the world, so soon as yours could win me, so it should now. Were there necessity in your request, although 'twere needful I denied it. My affairs do even drag me homeward, which to hinder, wherein your love a whip to me, my stay to you a charge and trouble, to save both. Farewell, our brother. Tongue-tied our queen, speak you. I had thought, sir, to have held my peace until you had drawn oaths from him not to stay. You, sir, charge him too coldly. Tell him you are sure all in Bohemia's well. This satisfaction the bygone day proclaimed. Say this to him, he's beat from his best ward. Well said, Hermione. To tell he longs to see his son were strong, but let him say so then, and let him go. But let him swear so, and he'll not stay. We'll thwack him hence with distaffs. Yet of your royal presence I'll adventure the barrow of a week. When at Bohemia you take my word, I'll give him my commission, to let him there a month behind the great prefix for his parting. Yet good deedly in taste, I love thee not a jar of the clock behind. What lady she her lord? You'll stay? No, madam. Nay, but you will. I may not, verily. Verily? You put me off with limber vows, but I, though you would seek to unsphere the stars with oaths, should yet say, sir, no going. Verily, you shall not go. A lady's verily is as potent as a lord's. Will you go yet? Force me to keep you as a prisoner, not like a not like a guest. So you shall pay your fees when you depart, and save your thanks. How say you? My prisoner, or my guest? By your dread, verily one of them you shall be. Your guest, then, madam, to be your prisoner, should import offending, which is for me less easy to commit than you to punish. Not your jailer, then, but your kind hostess. Come, I'll question you of my lord's tricks and yours when you were boys. You were pretty lordings then. We were, fair queen, two lads that thought there was no more behind but such a day tomorrow as today, and to be boy eternal. Was not my lord the verier wag of the two? We were as twinned lambs that did freak i' the sun, and bleat the one or the other. What we changed was innocence for innocence. We knew not the doctrine of ill-doing, nor dreamed that any did. Had we pursued that life, and our weak spirits ne'er been higher reared, with stronger blood, we should have answered heaven. Boldly, not guilty. The imposition cleared, hereditary ours. By this, we gather, you have tripped since. O my most sacred lady, temptations have since then been born to us. For in those unfledged days was my wife a girl. Your precious self had then not crossed the eyes of my young playfellow. Grace to boot, of this make no conclusion, lest you say, your queen and I are devils, yet go on the offences we have made you, will answer. If you first sinned with us, and that with us, you did continue fault, and that you slipped not with any but with us. Is he won yet? He'll stay, my lord. At my request he would not. Hermione, my dearest, thou never spokest to better purpose. Never. Never but once. What hence I twice said well? When was it before, I prithee tell me? Cranes with praise, and make as fat as tame things. One good deed dying tongueless, slaughters 1,000 wailing upon that our praises and our wages. You may ride us with one soft kiss 1,000 furlongs air. With spur we heat an acre, but to the goal. My last good deed was to entreat his stay. What was my first? It has an elder sister, or I mistake you. Oh, would her name were Grace. But once before I spoke to the purpose, when, nay, let me have it, I long. Why, that was when those crabbed months had soured themselves to death, ere I could make thee open thy white hand and clap thyself my love. Then didst thou utter, I am yours forever. 'Tis Grace indeed. Why, lo you now, I have spoke to the purpose twice. The one forever earned a royal husband, the other for some while a friend. Too hot, to mingle friendship, for far is mingling bloods. I have tremor cordis on me, my heart dances, but not for joy, not joy, the entertainment. May a free face put on, derive a liberty from heartlessness, from brainy, fertile bosom, and well become the agent. I grant, but to be paddling palms and pinching fingers, and now they are, and making practiced smiles, as in a looking glass, and then in sighs, more to the dear. Oh, that is entertainment my bosom likes not, nor my brows. Mamilius, art thou my boy? Aye, my good lord. I fex. Why, that's my baywalk, my bawcock. What has smutched thy nose? They say it is a copy out of mine. Come, captain, we must be neat, not neat, but cleanly, captain. And yet the steer, the heifer, and the calf, and all called meat, still virginaling upon his palm. How now you wanton calf? Art thou my calf? Yet if you will, my lord, thou wantest a rough pash, and the shoots that I have to be full like me, yet they say we are, almost as like as eggs. Women say so. That will say anything, but were thy false, as are dyed blacks as wind, as waters false as dice, are to be wished by one that fixes. No born twixt his and mine, yet were it true to say this boy were like me. Come, Sir Page, look on me with your welkin eye, sweet villain, most dearest my Calep. Can thy damn, may it be, affection, thy intention stabs the centre. Thou dost make possible things so held. Communicatest with demons. How can this be? With what's unreal thou coactive art, and fellowest nothing. Then 'tis very credent thou mayest co-join with something, and thou dost, and that beyond commission I find it, and that to the infection of my brains and hardening of my brows. What meanest Cecilia? Something seems unsettled. How, my lord? What cheer? How is it with you, best brother? You look as if you held a brow of much distraction. Are you moved, my lord? No. In good earnest, how sometimes nature will betray its folly, its tenderness, and make itself a pastime. To harder bosoms, looking on the lines of my boy's face, methoughts I did recoil. 23 years, and saw myself unbreeched, in my green velvet coat, my dagger muzzled, lest it should bite its master, and so prove, as ornaments oft do, too dangerous. How like me thought I then was to this colonel, this squash, this gentleman, mine hottest friend. My honest friend, will you take eggs for money? No, my lord, I'll fight. You will. Why happen, man? Be as a doll. My brother, are you so fond of your young prince as we do seem to be of ours? If at home, sir. He's all my exercise, my mirth, my master. Now my sworn friend, and then mine enemy. My parasite, my soldier, statesman, all. He makes a July's day short as December, and with his varying childness cures in me thoughts that would thick my blood. So stands the squire officed with me. We two will walk, my lord, and leave you to graver steps, Hermione. Now thou lovest us, showing our brothers welcome. Let what is dear in Sicily be cheap. Next to thyself and my young rover, he's a parent to my heart. If you would seek us, we are yours of the garden, shall us attend you there. To your own bents dispose you'll be found. Be you beneath the sky. I'm angling now. Though you perceive me not, how I give line. Go to. How she holds up the neb, the bill to him, and arms her with the boldness of a wife, to her allowing husband. Gone already. Inch thick, knee deep, o'erhead and ears a forked one. Go play, boy, play. Thy mother plays, and I play too, but so disgraced a part whose issue will hiss me to my grave. Contempt and clamour will be my knell. Go play, boy, play. There have been, or I'm such deceived cuckolds ere now, and many a man there is, even at this present now, while I speak this, holds his wife by the arm, that little thinks she has been sluiced to the absence, and is pond fished by his next neighbour, by Sir Smile his neighbour. Nay, there's comfort in it, whiles other men have gates, and those gates opened as mine, against their will, should all despair that have revolted wives, the length of mankind would hang themselves. Physic for it there's none. It is a body planet that will strike where the predominant and 'tis powerful, think it. From east, west, north, and south be it concluded. No barricado for a belly, know it. It will let in and out the enemy, with bag and baggage many thousand on us. Have the disease and feed it not, how now, boy? I am like you, they say. Why, that's some comfort. What, Camillo, there? Aye, my good lord. Go play, Mamilius. Thou art an honest man. Camillo, this great sir will not yet stay longer. You had much ado to make his anchor hold. When you cast out, it still came home. Didst note it? He would not stay at your petitions made his business more material. Didst perceive it? They're here with me already, whispering, surrounding. Cecilia said, so forth, 'tis far gone. When I shall gust at last, how came it, Camillo, that he did stay? As a good queen's entreaty. At the queen's, be it good, should be pertinent. But so it is not. Was this taken by any understanding paid but thine? For thy conceit of soaking will draw on more than the common blocks not noted, is it? But of the finer natures by some severals of headpiece extraordinary, lower messes perchance are to this business purblind, say. Business, my lord? I think most understand Bohemia stays here longer. Ah, stays here longer? Aye, but why? To satisfy your highness and the entreaties of our most gracious mistress. Satisfy? The entreaties of your mistress? Satisfy? Let that suffice. I have trusted thee, Camillo, with all the nearest things to my heart as well. My chamber counts as wherein, priest-like, thou hast cleansed my bosom. I from thee departed, thy penitent reformed, but we have been deceived in thy integrity, deceived in that which seems so. Be it forbid, my lord. To bide upon it, thou art not honest, or if thou inclinest that way, thou art a coward, which hoxes honesty behind, restraining from course required, or else thou must be counted a servant grafted in my serious trust, and therein negligent, or else a fool. That seest a game played home, the rich stake drawn, and takest it all for jest. My gracious lord, I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful. In every one of these no man is free. But that his negligence, his folly, fear among the infinite doings of the world, sometime puts forth in your affairs, my lord, if ever I were wilful negligent, it was my folly. If industriously I played the fool, it was my negligence, not weighing well the end. If ever fearful to do a thing where I the issue doubted, whereof the execution did cry out against the non-performance, 'twas a fear which often vexed the wisest. These, my lord, are such allowed infirmities that honesty is never free of. But beseech your grace, be plainer with thee. Let me know my trespass by its own visage. If I then deny it, it is none of mine. Cannot you see, Camillo? But that's past doubt. You have, your eyeglass is thicker than a cuckold's horn, or hurt. For to vision so apparent, rumor cannot be mute, or thought. For cogitation resides not in that man that does not think. My wife is slippery. If thou wilt confess, or else he impudently negative, to have not eyes, nor ears, nor thought, then say my wife's a hobby horse, deserves a name as rank as any flax wench that puts two before her troth plight. Say it, and justify it. I would not be a stander-by to hear my sovereign mistress clouded so without, my present vengeance taken through my heart. Never spoke what did become you less than this which to reiterate, were sin as deep as that, though true. Is whispering nothing? Is leaning cheek to cheek? Is meeting roses? Meeting noses? Kissing with inside lip? Stopping the career of laughter with a sigh? A note infallible. A breaking honesty. Horsing foot on foot. Skulking in corners. Wishing clocks more swift. Hours, minutes. Noon, midnight. Dull eyes blind with the pin and web, but theirs only. That would unseen be wicked in this nothing. Why then the world and all that's in it is nothing. The covering sky is nothing. Bohemia nothing. My wife is nothing, nor nothing have these nothings if this be nothing. Good my lord, be cured of this diseased opinion, and betimes, for 'tis most dangerous. Say it be, 'tis true. No, no, my lord. It is. You lie. You lie. I say thou liest, Camillo, and I hate thee. Pronounce thee a gross lout, a mindless slave, or else a hovering temporizer, that canst with thine eyes at once see good and evil, inclining to them both. Were my wife's liver infected as her life, she would not live the running of one glass. Who dost infect her? Why, he that wears her like her medal, hanging about his neck, Bohemia, who, if I had servants true about me, that bear eyes to see alike mine honour as their profits, their own particular thrifts would do that, which should undo more doing, I and thou, his cup-bearer, whom I from meaner form have benched and reared to worship, who may see plainly as heaven sees earth and earth sees heaven how I am galled. Mightest bespice a cup, to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which drank to me were cordial. Sir, my lord, I could do this, and that with no rash potion, but with a listening dram that should not work but maliciously like poison. But I cannot believe this crack to be in any dread mistress. So sovereignly, being honourable, I have loved thee. Make that thy question, and go rot. Dost think I am so muddy, so unsettled, to appoint myself in this vexation sully, the purity and whiteness of my sheets, which to preserve to is sleep, which being spotted, is goads, thorns, nettles, tails of wasps, give scandal to the blood of the prince, my son, who I do think is mine and love is mine, without right moving to it. Would I do this? Could man so blench? I must believe you, sir. I do, and will fetch off Bohemia for it, provided that when he's removed, your highness would take again your queen as yours at first, even for your son's sake, and thereby by sealing the injury of tongues and courts and kingdoms known and allied to yours.
And it's like people there.
Thou dost advise me, even so as I mine own course have set down. I'll give no blemish to her honour, none. My lord, go then, and with countenance as clever as friendship wears it as at feasts. Keep with Bohemia, and with your queen, I am his cupbearer. If from me ye have wholesome beverage, account me not your servant. This is all. Do it, and thou hast the one half of my heart. Do it not, thou splittest thine own. I'll do it, my lord. I will seem friendly as thou hast advised me. Oh, miserable lady, but for me what case stand I in? I must be the prisoner of good Polixenes, and my ground to do it, in the obedience to a master, one who in rebellion with himself will hear all that are his, so too, to do this deed. Promotion follows. If I could find example of thousands that had struck anointed kings and flourished after, I'd not do it. But since no brass, nor stone, nor parchment bears not one, let villainy itself forswear it. I must forsake the court. To do it or no is certain. To me a breakneck happy star, fame now. Here comes Bohemia.